Today's episode is brought to you by Function of Beauty.
Function of Beauty makes personalized shampoos and conditioners that are formulated just for you. And now they have even more to treat your unique needs from hair to toe. Along with hair care, they now offer customizable body wash and body lotion. And you can pick your favorite color and fragrance, just like their hair care.
So what are you waiting for? Go to functionofbeauty.com/advice to take your 4-part hair profile quiz and save 20% on your first order.
Go to functionofbeauty.com/advice, ADVICE, for 20% off and to let them know you heard about it from our show.
That's functionofbeauty.com/advice. Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh.
HelloFresh offers convenient, non-contact delivery to your doorstep for easy home cooking with the family. HelloFresh offers more than 20 chef-crafted, delicious options every week to help you break out of your recipe rut, try new things, and make any night feel special. And one of the best parts, the packaging that HelloFresh uses to ship your food is almost entirely made from recyclable and/or already recycled content.
Love that. Go to HelloFresh.com/advice80 and use code advice80 to get $80 off, including free shipping.
Go to HelloFresh.com/advice80 and use code advice80 to get $80 off, including free shipping.
As you guys know, we are officially in the holiday season.
Yes.
And I know y'all are looking for gifts to buy people. And let me just suggest one of the coolest freaking things that I've been exposed to. And that is who we are partnering with for today's episode, Ember.
Tell them.
You tell them.
Guys, it doesn't matter if you're a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, a hot water drinker, a hot cocoa drinker. If you like a hot beverage, this cup is for you. Or if you have someone that you need to get a gift for who also likes hot beverages, this gift is for them. Ember is one of the most amazing little gadgets that you will use 24/7. Ember is a temperature control smart mug that keeps your coffee or tea or, again, whatever hot beverage you like, hot until the very last sip. You have the ability to set your preferred drinking temperature with your Ember app on your phone, and your Ember mug will keep it there. Period.
It's crazy.
Period. Ensuring a perfect and delicious sip every single time till the very last drop.
Ember is the must-have gift of the season. Use our code ADVICE, ADVICE, for 10% off at ember.com.
Order early for holiday delivery. Again, that's advice, ADVICE, for 10% off at ember.com. Order early for holiday deliveries. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast.
This is unsolicited advice,
This is
the most
unsolicited
unprofessional advice
So unprofessional.
that you could receive. And yet y'all love us and y'all keep coming back. I'm Ashley.
I'm Taryn.
Turn.
Welcome to the show.
Hey guys. You'd think by now we'd have like a much more professional start to the episode.
You know, it's funny because we'll get to this in detail, but me and Ash were kind of like geeking out over like the Spotify numbers that came.
Yes.
And so we're sitting on the couch and Ash just like looks at me and she's like, Taryn. Like, and she starts naming off some of the things because we're both realizing like.
Wait, can I say one of them?
Say the one that you reacted off.
I feel like it'll make way more sense.
Say the one that you reacted off
if I read exactly what I was reading.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys know, the Spotify Wrapped season is upon us. It comes out every December
It's
where
so
it goes
cool.
through. I love that they do this. Spotify, listen, I love Apple Podcast, Apple Music. I love all that stuff. Spotify makes it way more fun. It's way more interactive. So one of the things that Spotify does that is just super cool is that they have a Wrapped series at the end of the year, and it tells you like your favorite artist, your favorite podcast, who you listen to the most. This is like our second time only having had our own podcast, and getting to see numbers from Spotify like this is super cool. Well, I was reading them to Taryn, and one of them was this. It said, you, meaning our podcast,
Us.
UA,
guys too.
We're the 13th most popular education podcast in the United States.
Like, what?
13th in the States, in the country.
First of all, that just blows my mind. Also, it's hilarious to me that we're in education.
I know. I was like, wait, I thought this was an unprofessional.
But bro, that means we're smart. Education.
So, Taryn and I are sitting on the couch last night editing, and I look at her, I read this out loud, and I look at her, and this huge revelation hits me, and I'm just like, I need to start taking this more seriously.
but see, oh, I choked on my spit. But see, that is our constant dilemma, because I think what makes this podcast so good is the fact that we do zero prep work. Ashley Nicole, I'm going to answer this too.
Yeah.
When you woke up this morning knowing that we were recording today, did you have your story picked out?
No.
Same.
Do I ever?
No.
The only time I kind of do prepare more is the October series, because so much effort goes into that one. And I'm just I've never been more amped to get an amazing story. So I'll look for so much hours sometimes. I'll just sit in bed and scroll and scare myself. But aside from that, no, I'm never prepared.
So it's this dilemma we always have of like, should we prep more? But then I feel like that would rob like the just random crap that comes out of our mouth. So, but we were like, maybe we can prep more in like, other areas.
Yeah, maybe we can do better in different ways. But we do love coming with a very, we love the raw feeling that we have.
No agenda.
So,
also, I'm just going to because I know you will. I'm going to shout out, Ash has a YouTube channel.
Oh,
and
I do.
Today specifically, it's December 3rd. She's doing Vlogmas, which if you're like, what is that? Basically, YouTubers decide once a year to completely torture themselves and upload a video every single day in December. So Ash is doing Vlogmas, and she's doing today kind of like a little behind the scenes of my podcast. So if you guys find that interesting, you should totally check out her video. Okay,
100% should. It's a good time. Yeah, you get to see me every single day. You get to see Taryn every single day. All the roomies every single day, and just kind of see life from my perspective. That's for great. 25 days straight. It's madness. It's absolute madness, but it's always so much fun for everyone involved. So if you haven't, check out my YouTube channel. Shameless self-promotion.
It's not shameless because I did it and I'm proud. I ain't ashamed.
I'll take it.
I'm proud of her.
But also, can I
merch?
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many things that we need to talk to you guys about. As you guys know, Taryn and I came out with our very first merchandise.
Yes.
We're merch people now. I've never in my life had merch before, and this is my first time having it. This is Taryn's first time having it.
Clearly.
When I say that we walked into this with the bar set low, with very low expectations, that's an understatement. We have never done this before. We had no reason to think that it would do well.
Yeah.
Especially because it was a very last minute thing and kind of thrown together. And we were like, you know what? No, we should do this. We should make 2020 better. Our listeners have been asking for it for a while. Let's do it. I personally was like, sure, we'll do it. We probably won't sell that much, but that's fine. The people that want it will get it. And that's what matters. But you guys blew us out of the water. We had no idea how amazing you guys are. You guys supported us in every single way. Everything sold. We ended up going all the way, almost a full week of sales.
Yeah.
It ended on Monday, let me double check the date, 30th.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. And we sold so much. The vendors were shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah, basically Ash, some of Ash's team reached out and we're just because we don't know what to gauge anything off of.
Yeah. What is average?
Yeah. And so they came back and were just telling us no, you guys literally, this is unheard of for a first merch drop. And I think what's so cool about merch is it's not I love the style of all our stuff, but they aren't the coolest fashion pieces.
Right.
But when you buy merch, it's specifically out of love of something you're supporting.
Exactly.
So I think that's what made me so emo too, is just seeing everyone so excited to get it. And we were hot messes through the whole process. Oof. We messed up in so many ways.
We're learning too.
Which honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I love that our first merch drop was a pile of poo. But we've learned so much about really focusing on, I know one of the things, let's do our biggest takeaways of what we would change.
Yeah.
For me, you guys know, if you follow me on my socials, I talk about it a lot on here. I'm very all about like body positivity and like everybody's beautiful. And I definitely didn't focus enough on our sizes that we were offering. So that was one of the main things that I walked away being like, why didn't I check into that? Because I know we went up to extra large, but not everyone is an extra large. I like my stuff sometimes like 2X too. So I had a couple people reach out like what about sizes? And that like, it literally went straight into my heart and out of my butt. I was sad.
I will say on our behalf, we again didn't realize how much say we had in this.
Yeah.
So moving forward, because we did do so well with merch, when we do another one, we will be implementing new things, and that's why we're saying this. There will be bigger sizes. There's so many things that we were like, we just
didn't know. Like,
we had no idea.
At the end we had like one main call with the vendor, and we literally didn't say much. And at the end, they were like, "Okay, so like, what are your questions?" And we both looked at each other, and I was like, "I don't know."
I was
like,
so not prepared.
Yeah, they were amazing, and they did so much, and it was great working with them. But there just was stuff we didn't think about. What was your like main thing? You're like, I wish I would have.
There was a huge issue with international shipping that broke my heart, especially now looking at our Spotify numbers. Most of you guys are in Europe.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys are in Europe. And that unfortunately, because our first merch drop was so small, it did not get to every country that I would have loved for it to go to. So that was heartbreaking as well. But again, we're learning. And now that we know that this is something you guys want and we can do in the future, we will implement in future drops. So we learned a lot, and we're excited to use this knowledge in future drops is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And it was so like, I was DMing, I'm so sorry. I can't remember your name, but I was DMing with someone from Singapore who was like, I'm like your biggest fan, and like, I can't get it shipped to me. So just stuff like that. We were like, I wish we would have known ahead of time. So we could have at least, even if we couldn't ship to everywhere, we could have prepared you guys and been like, hey, we can only
this is only going to here and here, which I get for the first drop. Of course, it's not going to go worldwide. We're not, we weren't that big.
We got to figure out some stuff first.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Okay. We'll work on that.
Anyway, so that's our merch wrap up, but it's exciting. I think you should,
Can I very quickly, Spotify. I want to read you guys our numbers. This is, again, we're not even 2 years old. We're not even 2 years old.
We're babies.
And we're just breaking boundaries over here.
We're just starting to talk.
This year we did 44 episodes. That reached 80 countries. 283% growth.
What? Can someone please write an email
explaining? This is interesting.
Oh, she just cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Can someone please, who's smarter than us, even though we are 13th in education?
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me? I don't get when stuff is over 100%.
It's hard.
It's hard. How did we go up 200 and something %? It doesn't make sense. I need help. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It says we dropped 2,888 minutes of content. This year over our 44 episodes.
That's a lot.
I already said we were the 13th most popular education podcast in the States. Oh, it says, it says, say hello to your new friends in the United Kingdom. That's where your listeners grew the most.
Shut. Oh my gosh.
Taryn.
I was sorry.
Guys, a fun fact about Taryn.
No.
That, what you just heard, Mark, you should replay it.
No. Shut.
What you just
that was a baby
heard,
one, so
what you just heard is a hiccup from Taryn Renee. This happens almost daily, and it is that loud and obnoxious.
But that, okay, Ash.
I will
watch
hear
your adjectives
from
please.
Her room, and I'll be all the way downstairs.
Here's the thing, though. I get one. Like, I just had two.
I don't know about one.
I get one giant one. Like, I don't have the hiccups for like 5 minutes. Like, little.
I might disagree with the one statement.
Okay, you're not in my body. You don't know my life.
Not your body, not your business.
Not your body, not your business. Any freaking
goodness.
who. Let's get into, if you're like, what am I listening to? If you're just joining us. We basically are two best friends who decided to start a podcast because we love people, and people write in stories, and we give our unprofessional advice and tell you how to live your lives. So far we haven't ruined anyone's life that we know of.
Not yet.
So
knock on wood.
Perfect record. ASMR. Okay. So y'all, I kind of teased this in our live, which if you don't follow us on, if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should, because that's where we have the most like interaction with you guys. We said in our live that I was going to be sharing a personal holiday tearing it up.
Oh my goodness.
Ash was there for this.
I was there. I witnessed the whole thing.
You know, not many moments in my life get me to the point where I'm rocked to my core, like
mortified,
what just happened. And it wasn't as much I was embarrassed. I was just like, why are you like this?
You know what? I think I had a similar thought. I'm just kidding.
Well, ouch. Okay. So Ash, it was the day before Thanksgiving. She was texting me and she was like, kind of just like in a mood. I could tell you were just kind of like,
I'm a moody person.
Yeah. You were just kind of in a mood. So I was like, I'm going to wake up early. This is how you know I love you.
This is the most two thing. If you don't know our Enneagram thing, find out Enneagram, go Google it and then continue listening. This is the most two thing I've ever heard of in my life. Continue.
I don't know. I was just like, I could tell she's like sad. So I was like, I'm going to wake up early and go just surprise her Thanksgiving morning. So, I went to the store and I went down the aisles and literally anything that I knew would make her happy, I got. So there was Cheesecake Factory bread. There was
the brown bread from Cheesecake Factory. Oh my God.
There was mint Milanos, which are her go-to.
Mint Milanos are my favorite cookies.
Bottle of wine, just random stuff. And flowers. Raisinets, flowers, and then I also got her favorite drink from Starbucks. So I show up and it's like great. I'm like, happy Thanksgiving.
I was so surprised. Yeah. I might have cried. Yes, it was an emotional thing.
So I was like, I can't really stay, but if you know anything about Ashley's mom, shout out, hey mom at McDonald, and she was like, just stay for 5 minutes. And I was like, no, I really need to go help my mom cook. She's like, no, just stay for 5 minutes. I was like, okay. So we walk outside. The first thing she tells me is, I've been spending so much time in the yard. And I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And then her main thing she was so proud of was her lights. She bought some lights. She strung up these beautiful like bulbed lights. There's like lights on the backyard. It just was beautiful. So she's talking to me about it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So we're sitting there for my 5 freaking minutes. I can't even make 5 minutes. 5 minutes is too much for me, apparently. So we're sitting there and they have this big lab and he loves to come bring you a toy to throw.
He loves to play catch.
So we were playing catch back and forth and then he comes and he brings me it. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm going to make this dog work for this one. Right. So I turn my body so that I can fully like hurl this toy into their backyard. And as I turned, the sun like blinded me. So in my mind, I was like, just close your eyes and throw it. Everyone's like, I already know. So I close my eyes and I literally just wind and freaking chuck this toy. And the next thing I know is I hear this big, just like explosion and glass just falling on the floor. Oof. And I look up and her mom's lights that she was so excited to show me, I had exploded and shattered 2 bulbs. 2 bulbs. And I just sat there and was like, what just happened?
It made the weirdest noise. It was like a pop, like not a crush or a crunch or a shatter even. It was like a pop sound. So I think it scared all of us. And then we just sat there confused about what happened. And then we heard the tinkling sound of the glass hitting the cement underneath.
I literally just buried my head in my hands and I was like,
she must have said, I'm so sorry 50 times. And all of us were just laughing so hard because the highlight of conversation was the lights that my mom had just put up in the backyard. I'm dead.
It was
a
so
real
bad.
life tearing it up from
so
Taryn herself, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you have anything you're proud of in your house, don't bring me. Don't show me.
Don't do it.
Don't
Don't tell her.
Anywho. So one thing that, the world has finally acknowledged, one size does not fit all.
Amen.
One product does not fit all needs.
Preach it.
Your hair care should not be my hair care. Your body care should not be my body care.
Woo, woo. I ran out of things to say.
That is why we are obsessed with Function of Beauty, because they do products that are just for you.
Guys, Functional Beauty's formulas always use clean ingredients. They're cruelty-free, and every bottle is individually formulated to give you what you need to look and feel your absolute best, whether it's your skin or your hair. Most of you guys probably know Functional Beauty has always been known for their shampoos and conditioners, personalized shampoos and conditioners, which all you have to do is take a 4-part hair profile quiz online, tell them a little bit about your hair so that you can get your personalized shampoo and conditioner. But they also now have a body wash and body lotion that, again, you can personalize. And by personalize, I mean like really get into it. You can say like you need hydration, you need color treatment, you need your split end therapy or whatever. And you get to pick your favorite color, your favorite fragrance, and you can even get your name on the bottle so that if you have roommates, people won't steal your stuff.
Yeah, love that. Roomie. So what are you waiting for? Go to functionalbeauty.com/advice to take your 4-part hair profile quiz and save 20% off on your first order.
Go to functionalbeauty.com/advice, ADVICE, for 20% off and to let them know you heard about them from our show.
That's functionalbeauty.com/advice. So one thing me and Ash have like totally gotten into during this whole, lots of time at home.
Food.
Is okay.
I mean,
I guess I thought I was starting, but it's fine. We have been really into cooking, but we also have been really into being lazy. So when we first got our HelloFresh kit, and it's like all the freaking stuff is measured out, everything you need, you just go on the website, look at all the delicious pictures, pick what you want.
For the first time ever, Taryn was like, "Hey, I'll cook dinner tonight."
Shut up. Get out.
Guys, HelloFresh delivers fresh, high-quality, pre-portioned ingredients so that you can make meals that are delicious and nutritious. One of my absolute favorite recipes that they have is the hot honey chicken recipe. It's delicious. It's healthy. It's very clean, low sugars. If that's your kind of thing, I would definitely try that recipe. It's a fave. By skipping the grocery store and using HelloFresh, you're reducing your food waste by at least 25%, which is incredible and much needed these days, guys. And the best part is they have something for absolutely everyone, including 20-minute meals, low-calorie meals, vegetarian, and kid-approved recipes. On top of that, just like so much more. Feeding the whole family has never been easier with lower prices for larger box sizes. So more servings means more savings.
Go to hellofresh.com/advice80 and use our code advice80 to get $80 off, including free shipping.
One more time, go to hellofresh.com/advice80 and use our code advice80 to get $80 off, including free shipping. We didn't discuss this, but did you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
I can go.
Okay, yeah, go.
Sure. As you guys know, these letters are from you guys. The listeners themselves send in stories that you guys want advice on, and we are so excited to be reading them today. Mine is titled, A Daughter in the Chains of Command.
Ooh.
Boom. We mentioned to you guys in the last episode that we wanted a lot of family drama stories because
I have a family.
Every holiday season, there is family drama. And it doesn't matter what family you're from or where you are. It doesn't matter. There's always family drama. So
I feel like this holiday season, there could be a lot because you have, first of all, I feel like everyone's been super passionate about differing like political views.
Yep.
Not only that,
especially if you're in the States.
Yeah. You have people who can't travel or people who are expecting you to travel. And then if you're not comfortable traveling, like there's that. Yes.
Also, you've been like cooped up with some of these family members all year.
And like, bottling with up. Older people, you like don't want to necessarily see them if you are at risk of giving them something.
Which could mean hurt feelings or you could be told, please don't come because.
Or like just loneliness.
Yeah. Oof.
I'm thinking about everyone this season. Oof. All right, go ahead.
All right. Hi, Ashley and Taryn.
Hello.
For the podcast, you can call me Mariella. I want to say how much I love the podcast, and I'm over 75% finished with completely catching up, which means she didn't listen from the beginning and has been binging, which is just, it's a fun time to be alive.
Love that.
For some context. My dad is Vietnamese and has different courtesy standards with greetings and stuff. He also is a high official in the U.S. military. So he kind of views our family as the military. He is the general. My mom is the lieutenant, and me and my siblings are the cadets.
Wow.
It's a great metaphor.
I love that.
I know. I can see you guys and your family dynamics already. Whenever the cadets do anything wrong, my dad expresses it very vocally to my mom, who is supposed to tell us in theory. My dad definitely has anger issues and is verbally abusive about the most random things he decides to be particular about. When he starts directly yelling at the cadets, we all have different reactions, but no one intervenes and just lets my dad run his course. Someone will get the unadulterated wrath. They will be hurt, but then my dad can continue with his life and act like nothing happened. He basically never offers apologies.
That's hard.
That's really rough. I want to ask for some advice on handling my dad. I have a laptop that has some blue screening issues, but otherwise I love. This started when I was a sophomore last year, but I was too scared to deal with the customer service. The warranty expired with me trying to deal with it, but never completely following through with it. This year, I would say that I'm a lot stronger and can fix things rather than accepting them so easily. My dad said that he would start another email conversation with the laptop repair people and try to get it fixed. He also said that he would deal with it since I couldn't do it last time and that I wouldn't have to do anything. I was happy with this arrangement, even though it might have been a low blow, but it was true. He initiated the conversation, but soon all the responsibilities fell onto me. I'm currently a junior, and not only do I have all of my schoolwork, but I'm scheduling all my SATs, my ACTs for college next year, and also looking at colleges. Needless to say, I let the emails fall low on my priority list. Last night, I realized that I didn't say I approve, quote unquote, to sending it back within the 5-day limit. This meant that they already archived my case. When I read that in fine print, my mom immediately asked what was wrong because I was visibly upset. I told her that I screwed up, and she called for my dad, who was watching the Dallas Cowboys. He was glued to the TV, but came anyways. He then proceeded to start yelling at the top of his lungs about saying how I'm super irresponsible and how I should have known better and X, Y, and Z. I knew this already, so I started yelling back at him that I messed up. I thought that if he knew that I knew, he would stop, but he didn't. He kept laying into me for the next few minutes, even though I acknowledged that it was my fault and I was clearly crying and sorry about it. I then got a bit of a bloody nose from stress. Me, I used to have that problem all the time. After I blew my nose and wiped the tears, he started yelling again about how someone needs to deal with a laptop and it wouldn't be him anymore because he's fed up with it. He yells about how he's not responsible and doesn't want to be a part of this. I'm crying and trying to take some nasal spray. My mom tells him to calm down and how I'm obviously sorry and bleeding and he needs to relax. He doesn't hear because of his tunnel vision and straight up ignores her. He emailed them basically asking if it was too late to send it back. He said that he's forwarding all the emails to my mom and he wouldn't be dealing with it anymore. Today, my mom told me that we can still send my laptop back for repairs, which is great and all, and I will be paying out of my account because my dad refuses to, and I accept that. He still can't talk about my laptop company without raising his voice and saying how it's a piece of crap or using other harsh words. I want an apology because after listening to your podcast, I know that my feelings being hurt is enough.
Yeah.
He really raised the emotional stakes for no reason but to put me down. Everything is fixed with the laptop situation, but how can I talk to him? I have to greet him because it would be extremely rude of me not to. But what do I do from there? I'm trying to face conflict more rather than putting it off and letting it blow up later, which is my tendency, also mine.
Yeah.
I am a 1 wing 9, which is Enneagram. If you guys aren't Enneagram fans, Google it.
Do it.
We talk about it all the time. So that means she's a perfectionist and leans towards my number 9,
which is no conflict. Yeah.
So she's a perfectionist, but won't tell you straight up how much you're bothering her.
Yeah.
So having conflict is the last thing that I want. I need to talk to him because this is important to me and I really need an apology. Do you have any advice on saying how he hurt my feelings while still accepting that I messed up? How do I say that he hurt my feelings without looking weak in his eyes? Any advice would be fabulous, especially after writing this. I feel like I know what I have to do. Much love, Mariella.
Oof. Dude,
Family
parent stuff is hard.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard because, especially at this age, you're coming to an age where you are finding your voice. You are learning to stand up for yourself. You're learning, you know, when it is okay to talk back, when it's not okay to talk back, but also like when you do feel validated, you have a voice now to like express that. But at the same time, you live under your parents' roof where there has to be some kind of respect involved, you know? So it's a delicate balance of like, yes, I messed up, but no, you can't talk to me that way. But you have to say it politely because he's your father and you live in his home, you know? Yeah. So it's a weird gray area that you have to find this balance in.
Yeah, it's super hard, especially when it comes to this type of situation.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go?
I mean, we can just go back and forth, but like off the top of my head, the first thing I think of is if I were to talk to him, I would almost ask him to just put the laptop situation aside and say, listen, I messed up. I understand that you're frustrated. I take full responsibility. I should have sent in the email. That's my fault. Can we push that aside now that you have taken responsibility? I would say, now that that's done, can we talk about how you talked to me?
Yeah.
And that's what I would bring up, how he made you feel. Because I feel like he keeps not deflecting, but keeps like redirecting the conversation towards the laptop when it has nothing to do with the laptop. It's his voice yelling at you that is hurting your feelings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And I obviously don't know your family and I don't pretend to, but I'm going to assume that he doesn't get told stuff like this very often from you guys.
Yeah.
So I think in situations like that, the best thing you can do is make it unbelievably clear how extreme he took it. Does that make sense? You can be like, I completely understand the laptop situation. I apologize for that, but can I ask you why you yelled? Like why?
Yeah.
You could have told me all of those things in a very calm manner.
Yeah.
Can I ask why you choose to yell at me all the time? Because it's affecting me.
Yeah. I think as far as, timing on this conversation is going to be literally key. We've talked about this before, but anytime you want to bring up something or, bring up a conflict or anything like that, you can't do it when tensions are high. Yeah. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yep. If your dad's watching the game, drinking a beer, nope, wrong time. Don't do it.
It has to be when things are good and at a decent hour, because there's also studies that show like, if you have conversations even after 10 p.m., a lot of times they end in just drama because your emotions are high, you're getting tired, stuff like that. Also, I mean, obviously I don't know your dad, but just from what I'm hearing, I think that you're going to have to be very strategic about how you talk to him. Yeah. Because it sounds like respect is very high, like his word goes, that kind of thing. So I think it's really important for you to try to think like, what is the outcome that I'm looking for in this conversation? Like, am I just wanting to have my voice heard? Am I wanting an apology? Am I wanting change? Like, what are you hoping to come from it? And then figure out, is that going to best happen by, talking to him, or maybe writing him a letter where you really take time to like clearly articulate everything. But I just want to, I am hopeful. I think this can happen. Like I noticed even, my dad is someone who there's something about him that just demands respect. Yeah. I would agree with that. Never harmed us, never like verbally, nothing. Like he's the best, just most
great dad. A great dad.
Word. So much integrity, strong Christian man. Like I love and respect him so much, but there's something about him where you just know, like, I need to respect him. And
it's in how he carries himself and his demeanor. Yeah. I remember the second I met him, I was like, hello, Mr. So-and-so. Like I immediately, like, I was like, we are Mr. and last name, like just came out of my mouth. And I was like, didn't even think about it.
I don't know what it is, but I struggled with finding that balance growing up too, of like, when I would do something or he'd tell me something, you know, our responses had to be like, okay, and just you do what you're told. And growing up, I struggled with wanting my opinion to be heard, but not wanting to cross the line of like being disrespectful. And that was hard for me to find. And I think me and my dad both kind of like stumbled into something that works, where even like, I feel like even now we're at such a healthy place where like sometimes like he'll reach out and be like, hey, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings by saying this. And like, it's just such a like genuine relationship now. But that took time, and that took me taking steps to express how I felt and him taking steps to explain where he was coming from.
Yes.
So I think that if you go into this conversation, and let me make this clear, I'm not diminishing your emotions. Mm-hmm. And if you want to go into this like guns blazing, like blah, 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 this is how I feel. What you gotta do. You're right. Mm-hmm. But I do think that sometimes like there's a wisdom and maturity that comes with approaching conversations in a compromising way. So even though you want to go in and be like, you yelled at me and that sucked and that made me feel like this, knowing your dad and knowing how he operates, that might not be the most successful conversation.
Yeah.
So I would definitely take time to try to really understand him and where he's coming from, and even propose that in the conversation and just say like, and this, again, this is just if I were you, I would sit down and I'd be like, hey, can I talk to you? I've been struggling a little bit, because it seems to me like when stuff comes up or when I mess up, your reaction is so big and it makes me feel so small. Yeah. And I would love to just talk to you about like why you get so upset for these things, because I didn't do it intentionally. It wasn't a personal thing towards you, but the way that I feel when you're yelling at me is that you literally like hate me in that moment. And I have a really hard time getting over it.
Yeah. Something I mentioned at the very top of this podcast when we first started it is how much I love Brene Brown. And one of the things I mentioned before that she uses often when she fights with her husband is the story I'm telling myself phrase. And when she wants to talk about something that is conflict, that is uncomfortable, but she knows she has to do for the better of the relationship, she will always start it by saying, hey, listen, like, I love you. I'm not going anywhere. Like, we're in this together. We're in this for life. Just very much encouraging and validating that she loves her husband. So you could do the same thing. Like, just like, hey, listen, I love you. I respect you. I appreciate all that you've done for me. But the story I'm telling myself is that you're always angry with me because you're always yelling at me. And just kind of like see how he responds to that even. Yeah. Where it's just like, hey, listen, you're my father. I respect you. That's never going to change. I love you. But here's how I'm taking what you say and how it's affecting me. And I think it'd be impossible for him to not see that.
And there's ways to say, like, I could say a sentence like, you're always screaming at me and you're always so mean and blah, blah, blah. Or I could say, you know, Dad, sometimes like the volume and the choice of words you use really make me kind of fearful and like
scared.
You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to phrase things and there's ways to just be smart about a conversation. Ashley does not handle conflict well. No. If I came to her and I was like, the way that I fight with my brothers, you would crawl in a hole and be like, I can't talk to you.
I wouldn't say a word. She would continue yelling and I would just curl up in a ball and melt away.
Yeah. So even if I'm feeling frustrated and I'm wanting to express that to her, I know that for us to have a successful conversation, I need to do it in a very gentle, like, roundabout way till she feels comfortable, and then we dive in, you know? But like my brothers, I can go up to him and be like, you're such an idiot. Like, you said this, whatever. And then we'll like high five and be done, you know? So I think like you have to express your emotions. You have to stand up for yourself. But I think there's something about going into it, like psychologically, like how can I best communicate with this person? And then my second thing I was going to say is you have to also be prepared for the outcome to not go the way that you want.
Yes.
But I think that a way that you can achieve closure without having the other person participate is by voicing your opinion. And in that act, like in me standing up and caring enough about myself to say something, that is my closure.
Yeah. You tried, you did your part.
Yeah, even though you're going to continue yelling at me, you're going to continue whatever, like a little piece of me is going to just build this wall after I tell you how I feel. If you choose not to do the same, I can still love you. I can still figure out a way to make this work. But I also know that like I stood up for myself, you know?
I was talking to a fellow 9 on the Enneagram the other day, and we were talking about someone that made that person upset. And she said that she tried to have a conversation. It wasn't really like going her way, and the person wasn't really hearing her out. And I was like, you know what? Listen, I was like, if you want to, like, you can be the bigger person. You can keep pressing into this, doing whatever you want. But this person was getting exhausted and tired by it. And I was like, you know what? It's okay to just mentally check, just like remember that, and that we don't fully trust that person with this particular issue anymore. You know, if you want to just drop it and move on for the sake of the friendship because you're exhausted and you don't want to fight about it anymore, that's fine. But little mental check.
Yeah.
I don't think it means you're unforgiving. I don't think it means you're holding a grudge. I think you're protecting yourself when you do little mental checks like that. And just remember that we probably won't go to this person for that thing anymore, you know?
Yeah. And also like finding your ways to cope. Like it sounds like, I mean, she mentioned like even her mom was telling her dad to stop and he kind of like barreled through. So it sounds like when he's at an elevated state, he's not aware of the surrounding.
Yeah.
So if that was me, I would be like, okay, he's checked out. Like he's fully in that mode. So I would sit there and like, yes, sir. I understand. And be quiet. And then once he comes down, then I would approach. So that's what I'm saying with there's ways to be smart about something, but still being true to yourself. And if you can't get your emotions out to him, you need to find another outlet, whether it's talking to your mom or calling a friend after and just crying and being like, this just happened. Like find ways that you're feeling validated in that. But also I think it's just hard. Sometimes our parents are set in their ways and we gotta kind of meet them where they're at.
You move out early.
And sometimes you get out.
Mariella, thank you so much for writing in and sharing your story. I know plenty of people that I grew up with that had the same type of situation.
So 2020 has been a big jumble of confusion and hot messery.
Ugh, yuck.
You like that word?
Completely messery? Yes.
Hot.
Let's make that a word.
It is a word.
It is now.
But one thing you don't want to be unclear about is your freaking fertility.
Absolutely not.
Your reproductive health, Ash.
Absolutely not.
So good thing that one thing we can count on, and that is modern fertility.
Guys, fertility testing can cost over thousands of dollars, but modern fertility is way more affordable than that. It can cost only $159 for the exact same information. That's why modern fertility was created. It's the easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Again, you can mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get your personalized results within 10 days, which is cake. You don't even have to go anywhere. You don't even have to leave the house. I hate going to doctor's offices, so that's just like, that's it for me.
That's it.
You'll get insight into how many eggs you have, hormone levels, and other important fertility factors. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also talk one-on-one with a fertility nurse to review your results and options for next steps, which is key because I wouldn't trust myself to know, and I also wouldn't trust my Googling skills.
Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/advice. That means your test will cost $139 instead of the hundreds or thousands it could cost at a doctor's office.
Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/advice, ADVICE. Again, that's modernfertility.com/advice.
As you guys know, we are officially in the holiday season.
Yes.
And I know y'all are looking for gifts to buy people. And let me just suggest one of the coolest freaking things that I've been exposed to. And that is who we are partnering with for today's episode, Ember.
Tell them.
You tell them.
Guys, it doesn't matter if you're a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, a hot water drinker, a hot cocoa drinker. If you like a hot beverage, this cup is for you. Or if you have someone that you need to get a gift for who also likes hot beverages, this gift is for them. Ember is one of the most amazing little gadgets that you will use 24/7. Ember is a temperature control smart mug that keeps your coffee or tea, or again, whatever hot beverage you like, hot until the very last sip. You have the ability to set your preferred drinking temperature with your Ember app on your phone, and your Ember mug will keep it there. Period.
It's crazy.
Period. Ensuring a perfect and delicious sip every single time till the very last drop, which is the worst. I'll be the first to say it. When I wake up, I'll go make my coffee. I'll take a few sips. I'll, make breakfast or take the dogs out or go check my email for a second. And then I go back to my coffee, ice cold.
Yeah.
Especially in this house. It's always cold.
For that.
With a sleek design, Ember has a long-lasting built-in battery so you can sip your coffee in any room of the house without it getting cold. When you're ready to recharge it, just place it on the included charging stand.
Love that.
Hello.
Also, they're available in 10 ounce, 14 ounce, and a travel mug. Ember is the must-have gift of the season. Use our code ADVICE, ADVICE, for 10% off at ember.com.
Order early for holiday delivery. Again, that's ADVICE, ADVICE, for 10% off at ember.com. Order early for holiday deliveries.
As you all know, we are a podcast that believes in the power of counseling, believes in taking a step to get help when needed. And we have been partnering with BetterHelp for so long now. And they're one of our faves because they're just like an easy way to get help, especially during times like we're going through. It's just such an easy way to get the help that you need.
BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. It's so easy, guys. Connect in a safe and private online environment. It's super, super convenient. BetterHelp has a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas, depending on where you live. The licensed professional counselors are specialized in things like depression, anger, stress, family conflicts, anxiety, LGBT matters, relationships, grief, sleeping, self-esteem, and trauma. I tried to do it all in one breath and I couldn't do it. They have so many ways to help you guys out, which is so convenient at this time when we aren't really allowed to do a lot of things depending on where you live. And one of the best things and my favorite things is that you don't have to actually meet in person. You can call them, you can email them, you can even text them just to check in when you're having one of those moments and you need a little advice. They're available 24/7 and absolutely love BetterHelp.
We definitely want you guys to start living the happiest life you can today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/advice.
Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/advice.
Okay, time for my story. It is titled, "The Holidays Should Not Be This Stressful."
Oof, but they always
Don't I know
are.
it, girl? Hi, Taryn and Ashley.
Hi.
Hello. I'm a new listener to Unsolicited Advice, but a huge fan nonetheless.
Welcome.
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 What is that?
Name that movie.
I don't know.
No? Hunger Games.
Oh, I'm still not hearing it.
It's fine. Continue. Okay. If you heard that on our Instagram post today, go comment. What should they comment?
If you heard what?
If you know what movie that's from, go comment it on our Instagram post today. I said it weird the first time. I apologize.
I'm a mess of confusion with you right now, but I love you the same. I started listening around October series and I'm hooked.
Yeah, girl. Yeah,
Hooked.
girl.
Now, I love listening to your podcast on my way to school or work, and it makes my days so much better. Thank you for everything you do and for the great advice given. Girl. My name is Emma, and you can say my name. Oh my God, I'm an Enneagram 1. Another 1.
Whoa, 2 1s.
Our Enneagram 1s are representing. My boyfriend and I have been dating for a little over 2.5 years now, and I love him so much. I have a pretty big family, so my holidays have always been pretty packed with get-togethers. So when we started dating, there was twice as many. This hasn't been much of a problem until this year. His grandparents are moving their Christmas to around the same time as my grandparents.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That was the slowest. I also lost my spot. Where am I?
One more time.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Same time as my grandparents on Christmas Day. His grandparents live about 40 minutes away, which makes it difficult. I love the holidays and spending time with both of our families, and I couldn't imagine missing either one. I was hoping that maybe my grandma would be willing to change hers to more in the evening. That way we can make it to both events. My grandma, however, has a tendency of making me feel guilty for choosing my boyfriend over my family.
Grandmas do that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Although that's never the case. If I haven't seen my grandparents much that week, it's because you've been hanging out with that boy. Keep in mind, we've been dating for 2.5 years now, and he's more than just that boy.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, seriously. There are many other examples of this. I plan on spending the rest of my life with him, and it just seems like my grandma doesn't take it that way. My family is the most important thing in my life, so it hurts me to think that I'm having to choose between their Christmas and my boyfriend's family's Christmas. But my grandma isn't making it easy on me. I don't want to seem selfish for making them change the time by a few hours, but if that means we can all be together, I don't feel that that's a big deal. I know if I choose to go to my boyfriend's family's get together, I will be made to feel guilty. If I choose my family, I'm making my boyfriend miss out on time with his family. I know we can split up, him go to one and I go to the other, but I want to Swen. I hate when I'm like in a flow and I do something stupid like that.
It's okay.
But I want to spend my Christmas with him. What would you do in this situation? Any advice would be so great because I'm torn. Thank you. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Lots of love, Emma. And she attached a photo of her boyfriend and her.
Look at how cute. Look at you guys.
You guys are cute.
Oh my God. Your kids are going to be gorgeous.
Yes.
Look at those jaws. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Anywho, man. This is like, I mean,
this is even harder
this
because
is not a problem I've had to deal with much in my life, but for the 4 years of my life where I was in a relationship, the rest,
funny.
I'm chilling. I remember, luckily we were able to work everything out. And also there were times we just split, but, it's funny how this is such a common thing that comes up when you start to get serious with someone and you're like, I want to spend the holidays with you.
Yeah.
But do you want to say anything before?
Oh, I mean, sure. I think with stuff like this, especially being that you've been dating him for a while, this is clearly a serious relationship. I think this is your life and you get to do what you want to do. And grandma can have her opinions, but can't make this decision for you. Even though I'm sure she'd like to. You clearly, if it was just some guy that you'd been talking to for a couple months, I'd be like, okay, let's go to the fams. Let's talk with grandma. Let's go see grandma. Cause she outweighs that. But this guy is clearly it sounds like you said rest of your life. So he's probably going to become a part of your family very soon. And if you want to spend it with him, that's your decision to make.
Yeah.
And if grandma wants to be finicky about it, you can go see grandma, a different time or whatever. But this is your life and you get to make that decision. That's just that's my opinion.
Yeah. I think obviously, I mean, we can give you all the advice on like the different options. Obviously splitting is an option. Obviously like telling, going half and half. But it sounds like there's more than just this. It sounds like this is like an issue, not just for holidays. So I think this would be something too. You should sit with your grandma and just be blunt with her and be like, hey, I really feel like I am going to marry him and someday we're going to have a family and this is all going to get hard. And you make these comments. Why are you laughing?
I was just thinking.
Why are you laughing at me?
I was thinking about if it was Mike. I'd be like, do you want to see your grandkids?
Well, dang. What? And that made you laugh?
Yeah. Because like, that's not the best advice to give. But like, I would be like, If you want to see your grandkids, then you need to calm down, Grandma.
I literally was like, seriously, in a sense, and I look over and she's just smiling, giggling.
I had a full conversation in my head. Okay,
with your grandma?
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Thank you,
Continue.
Ash. No, I think you should sit her down and just be like, hey, like, I'm not trying to make you guys feel otherwise, but like, family is so important to me. So every time you make that comment, like, it really hurts my feelings. And if that's really what you think, like, it makes me sad because that's not the case. And maybe like, if you guys just have that conversation, then she'll feel a little more validated and then be more willing to be flexible.
Yeah.
If not, I would tell her, I understand if you're not wanting to switch, but I'm telling you, like, say, whatever, 3:00 is the earliest you could get there from your boyfriend's. Mm-hmm. If you're spending like, half the time there and moving, I would say, I hope that you can figure out a way to do it because I would love to spend time with you guys, but I will not be able to be there till 3:00. I'm so excited to see you at 3:00 and I'll hang out and we'll do whatever. But I understand if you can't move it, but that is what I'm able to do.
Sometimes in these situations, you have to draw a line and you have to say, hey, this is the best I can do. Hopefully this can work out. But if not, I'll see you another time. We can have a separate Christmas. We can do gifts another day.
I'm so bummed I won't be able to eat with you guys and like do our traditions, but I'll come at 3 and like you can catch me up on what happened. Like, it doesn't have to be this big negative thing. Yeah. But I would definitely figure out with your boyfriend too, like, what do we want to do? Or if that means you guys go early out there and you do breakfast with his family and you stay a little while and then you head out, like, try to find a compromise if you can. But other than that, you got to do what you got to do. And honestly, like, when you get married and you have kids, like, your family becomes priority and then things get even more complicated. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying this is like a bigger issue that I think you need to like nip in the bud.
Yeah. Something I've learned as a very non-confrontational 9 is that you have to say things without giving them an option. If you are choosing not to budge and you want to spend, Christmas with your boyfriend and his family, then you have to say, I'll be here at this time, period. Yeah. That's all I can do. Don't say, oh, well, maybe, or maybe we could do this, and don't give them an option. Don't give them any wiggle room. You'll be there at 3, period. And they can, take that or not. But
yeah. And I mean, I don't know if maybe you're the first to start having like other things. 'Cause I know like with my family, this is the first year now, like my brother's married and has a kid. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of my cousins, like they're married and have kids. So like this year we met for Thanksgiving on Thursday, social distance, like literally we sat in their driveway, 2 tables that were 6 feet apart. Yeah. And we just came and sat at tables far apart and talked to each other and ate pie. Like, it was so not our Thanksgiving, but you make it work because you're family and you love each other. So I think like this just might be a new thing, and older people are set in their freaking ways. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just a thing.
Also, it's something they're allowed.
Where's your mom or dad at? Like, whoever's this grandma's child, like, you need to be like, hey, can you help me out? Because I'm getting nothing.
Ask for some support over here.
Because if I was your mom or dad, I would just be like, Ma, chill out. Like, we can eat at 4. Yeah. You'll be fine. We'll get you in bed at 6.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
But anyways, thank you so much for writing in. Good luck. I'm saying a prayer, throwing vibes out that you will find peace.
Good luck to you, my dear.
Goodwill towards.
I hope it goes well. I have a dad joke today. This is such a fun little twist, which is fun. One of you guys actually sent this in. Georgia sent this in the DMs. She said, you want to know where I store all my dad jokes?
In the vault, I don't know.
In a database.
It's so good. A database.
She literally was like, Taryn, please use this. And I was like, swipe. It's Ashley. Surprise. Thank you guys so much for listening this far. You guys made it to the very end. You're the real MVPs. Be sure to follow us on all our socials. Everything's going to be linked below. Yep. If you have any more family drama stories, send them in ASAP.
ASAP.
We want them.
Yep. We love you all, and we will hear you. We will talk to you next week. I don't know.
Okay, we're done. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Modern Fertility.
Traditional testing with your doctor can cost over $1,000, guys, but Modern Fertility only costs $159 to get this same exact information. And Modern Fertility is the easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get your personalized results within 10 days. Also, if you have HSA or FSA, you can use those dollars on Modern Fertility. If you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, you need information to make the decision that's best for you.
Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/advice. That means your test will cost $139 instead of the hundreds or thousands it could cost at a doctor's office.
Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/advice. Again, that's modernfertility.com/advice.